From Hammond Student Center on the Southwest Missouri State University campus, welcome to the 53rd Greenwood Blue and Gold Tournament Championships. Tonight in the blue division, it's the Rogersville Wildcats against the Glendale Falcons. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another night of Blue and Gold Championships here at the end of 1998. I'm Don West, joined tonight by Darren Cates, and we'll crown two more champions in the Blue and Gold in its long and storied history this evening. The blue division title is up for grabs, and the top two seeds, Glendale #1 and Logan-Rogersville #2, are the competitors. Glendale is 10-0 and ranked #2 in the state in Missouri Class 4A, and Rogersville comes in with a record of 9-2. Here's how they got here. Glendale worked its way through Mansfield, Ozark, and Lebanon to the championship. Rogersville defeated Morrisville, West Plains, and Willard to earn its way into the Blue Division championship game. Darren, a classic case of 1 versus 2 among the seeds. Glendale, as we said, at 10-0, and Rogersville is trying to stop what so far really is a coronation of Glendale as the tournament champion this year. They have been just unstoppable by teams they play.
And usually when you see seeds, #1 seeds in specific, come through a tournament, you're going to see them get tested at least one time before they get to the championship game. Really has not been the case for Glendale. They've coasted as they've gone through, been able to have some easy games, and I say that as far as the scores being very lopsided as they went through.
Their closest game has been against Ozark in the second round, and that was a 21-point win. That's their closest game of the blue and gold so far.
Yeah, and that was against an Ozark team that had won by 29, the game before, against Mountain Grove in their opening game. So, it's not like they did that against a weak team. They came out against a very good basketball team, put up some impressive numbers.
Rogersville has had a little bit tougher road to the finals. They were taken into overtime by West Plains in the second round on Monday before winning 54-49. They defeated Willard 78-60 last night in the semifinals. That was the closest semifinal game, or one of the closest of the night last night. All four were pretty much blowouts in the semis.
Yeah, but of course, the game with West Plains, it's the only mutual opponent these two teams have had this year. They went to overtime. Glendale beat West Plains earlier in the year 70-39. So, if that's a gauge of how this game's going to be, doesn't bode well for the Wildcats.
So the Wildcats have their work cut out for them. It's Glendale and Rogersville in the Blue Division Championship, and later on tonight we'll see Nixa and Bolivar do battle in the Gold Division title game. And we'll be back to get things started at Hammond Student Center right after this.
What happened?
I don't have a clue.
Oh, look, the game's on.
Panasonic introduces the new Performance Plus vacuums with the exclusive Tri-Force motor. Now very powerful is also very quiet. After all, you have the right to remain silent. Panasonic, just slightly ahead of our time.
For Panasonic sales and service, call Silver Sweepers, 1108 South Glenstone.
All our kids are sports nuts. Michael and Brendan play football.
Maggie and John play basketball.
With this many family members driving, we need to have a good auto insurance company. And we do. We have American Family.
Fantastic agent, fantastic service. It's a secure feeling because we're always on the go.
All your protection under one roof.
American Family Insurance.
I'm Danny Mara, and I'm located on the corner of Battlefield and National in the Montclair Suite.
Don West, along with former Glendale assistant coach Darren Cates. It's the Falcons and the Rogersville Wildcats in the Blue Division Championship of the 53rd Annual Greenwood Blue and Gold Holiday Tournament. The Falcons, as we said, are 10-0. They're shooting for their 7th Blue and Gold Championship tonight. They won 3 titles in the 60s under Jack Roberts, and Mike Keltner has won 3 Blue and Gold titles himself in 1986, 1992, and 94. Glendale, of course, is in the blue and gold only in even-numbered years. They rotate with Hillcrest, Central, and Kickapoo as far as the years that they're in the blue and gold. Mike Keltner did not win 2 years ago, and he's anxious to get back in the winner's circle in this tournament.
Yeah, they beat Rogersville in the semifinals 2 years ago, but of course got beat by Bolivar in the championship round. So, this is something that he really loves to play, and he loves the blue and gold, all the tradition of it. Of course, his father had coached in it before him, and he loves the tradition of the blue and gold. This is something special to him.
Time for the starting lineups, and let's go across the floor to public address announcer Rick Jester.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the campus of Southwest Missouri State University.
6'1" senior, number 42, Jeremy Luttrell. Starting center for the Wildcats, a 6'6" junior, number 40, Sam Webster. At guard, a 6'1" junior, number 22, Brock Barton. And at the other guard, a 5'10" sophomore, number 20, Clint Underwood. The head coach for the Wildcats, Mr. Ryan Miller. And on the starting lineup for the Glendale Falcons. At forward, a 6'2" senior, number 14, Wesley Pickering. At forward, a 6'3" senior, number 40, Ben Garwitz. Starting for the Falcons in the center position, a 6'6" senior, number 32, Blake Will. At guard, a 6'2" senior, wearing number 12, Austin Thompson. And at guard, a 5'11" senior, wearing number 10, David Ross. The head coach for the Glendale Falcons, Mr. Mike Shelter.
Your starting lineups: Underwood, Barton, Maloney, Webster, and Luttrell. A three-guard set for Rogersville. Glendale with Blake Will in the middle. Versatile players all the way across, though, Darren, especially Garwitz, who can shoot the long ball or drive inside.
Yeah, he can play inside or out. The same goes for Pickering. Both of them are inside-out players. I think the interesting matchup is going to be with Barton and Thompson. I think Austin Thompson's probably going to end up guarding Brock Barton for Rogersville. Austin, a big, strong kid. Barton, very explosive offensive player. Be important for Rogersville to try to get him off early.
Bill Keeter, Dana Elwell, and Anthony Tyndall are the three officials for the Blue Division Championship. And the toss a little high, but controlled by Rogersville. They're in maroon, and Glendale is in white. The Falcons are the home team. Chris Maloney with the dribble out front, and Clint Underwood, he'll take the first shot of the game. And the rebound for Glendale 5'11" senior guard David Ross. The other way, Pickering will give it to Austin Thompson for the first points.
And there you go, real quick. You're going to get a timeout from Coach Gorman. Didn't like the fact that his team didn't get back in time.
A 20-second timeout, and we've seen coaches do this in the blue and gold, Darren, call timeouts within the first minute of the game just because of small things like that.
Exactly, and that's a good coaching point. This is something that Coach Gorman, you know, he knows his team's the underdog. He doesn't want to let things get out of control before time gets going along for it's an 8-point or a 10-point deficit. He wants to make sure his team's woken up here early, get them into the game, and the most critical thing is make sure you get back on defense. You can't give this Falcon team easy shots.
Rod Gorman, the former Drury College star, now in his third year at Rogersville after the long tenure of Gary McDaniel. Rogersville won 3 blue and golds under Gary Mack in 81, 82 in succession, and then in 1995.
See Glendale in the man-to-man. This is something they've done so well here in this blue and gold tournament, is play very good defense, get out and guard those passing lanes.
Rogersville ball underneath. Out for Underwood. Maloney has a three-pointer blocked partially. Rogersville recovers. Brock Barton will rattle one out. Barton is averaging right at 22 points a game in the blue and gold. He was the leading scorer in the tournament through 3 rounds with 32 points against Morrisville, 15 against West Plains, and 18 versus Willard. Blake Will hits, and it's 4-0 Falcons.
See the versatility, like you say, of almost all the Falcons. That time Will steps out on the perimeter, mostly an inside player. That time he goes out, knocks down the 17-foot jump shot.
Rogersville with Underwood, and he has to go after it. Falcons pick it up. Thompson, 6-0.
And If you're Rogersville, you have to take care of the basketball here. You need to get a good shot. This possession is very important.
Left side for Jeremy Luttrell. He's a key player for the Wildcats as well. Luttrell, in fact, the only senior starter and one of only 2 seniors, period, for the Wildcats. The miss for Barton. Glendale, on the other hand, a 5 senior starting lineup. Veteran, experienced, and tough.
And most of them been playing since they were sophomores. So they have not just senior experience, but, you know, about 3 years experience now.
At the varsity level. Pickering misses. Thompson down the lane. Maloney got him before he got there.
Of course, Thompson, the grandson of Coach Jinx Thomas, who had coached here at SMS. Very strong, very wide body. Very difficult to defend.
Left-handed hook for Garwitz missed. And will go the other way with a Glendale foul. That'll be on Garwitz. Ben's having a big tournament.
Ben's one of those players that's just exciting to watch. It seems like whether he fouls, whether he scores, or whether he's passing the basketball, it's always in an exciting manner.
We played 3 minutes, right at 3 minutes, and Rogersville not on the board yet.
And really haven't had a very good look at the basket yet.
Maloney out for Brock Barton. You know they'll be in his face all over the floor all night. And another Rogersville turnover.
See Rogersville also in the man-to-man, something they do very well.
Barton tried to step in, and he does get it. Took it all the way, and a charging foul on Barton.
Number 22, Brock Barton.
I believe it was Will that takes the spill. Let's take a look.
Yeah, that time Barton goes off the screen there from Webster. Will gets over there. You hear him grunt, get the flop down. It's exactly what coaches want to see. They want to hear that grunt. They want to see him get down on the ground. Did a nice job that time.
It looked like a good call. Now Will on the Falcons end. Thompson, Pickering. Falcons run this offense really well. There's a travel on Will. They know where everybody is at any point on the floor, don't they?
It's a little bit, you know, and I saw Texas and Princeton play last night, and I don't want to say, you know, they're Princeton. It's a whole different offense, but it's a little bit like Princeton in the fact that it's bang, bang, it's pass, pass, move, move, and it's got to be quick, and timing is of the utmost importance, and they do it very well.
Here's Barton open for a 3. He'll hit that eventually.
Well, that's the best look I think they've had so far here in the early going, too.
And a foul on Jeremy Luttrell, and Glendale will be shooting free throws.
And that time it was Wes Pickering going to the basket. If you notice that time, he had the ball partially blocked by Luttrell. This is something that Pickering's added to his game, is a lot more strength. Even though the ball was blocked, he still got the ball up, gave it a chance to go in, and still will get the 2 shots.
This is Pickering shooting and hitting the first foul shot. Brooks Tipton is in for Rogersville, 5'9" junior guard. He gives them a nice punch coming in at a guard spot.
And, you know, they sit down Barton right now. I think Coach Gorman wants to talk to him a little bit, maybe try to settle him down. He's going to need him to get some easy points.
Underwood through the lane. Will is there for the block, and he's called for traveling.
I'll tell you what, you know, if you're Clint Underwood there, that's a little disheartening in the fact that he really makes a nice move here, but when he goes to finish, you know, he's going to run into the 6'6" Will, who gets up nicely, deflects it away, ends up traveling on the rebound. But, you know, that you break through everybody, and then all of a sudden there's a 6'6" guy there waiting to swat it away.
Underwood into Webster. And back out front. It's 8-0 Glendale with a little under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. And a foul in the lane whistled by referee Dana Elwell. And that'll be on Sam Webster. No, it's not. It's on Blake Will. Webster was going the other way. He thought it was on him.
It is the last day of the year. And
Anthony Tyndall will bring the ball in. He's officiating his third blue and gold championship game. Lob out front for Underwood.
Again, good pressure by the Falcons. David Ross staying up on him real tight.
Three-pointer Maloney. He got it. And Rogersville is on the board.
All set up by nice penetration that time. Underwood putting it on the floor, creating a little shot for Maloney.
Little elbow there by Ross that he got away with, and he puts the shot in.
He becomes the fourth Falcon to score here in the first quarter.
They did that last night too, didn't they? They get everybody involved almost equally a lot of times. And they're 10-0 coming in to tonight's game. They won the Joy Dog Food Tournament down in West Plains to start the year. That's a major accomplishment. Barton goes to work, and he traveled. They went to New York City and beat Fordham Prep 61-19. A lot of you know that story. Wins over a couple of St. Louis teams, Francis Howell North of St. Charles and St. Louis Lafayette, as well as Kansas City Lincoln. Glendale's victories on the year. Here's a touch back in for Pickering. And the Falcons are rolling here in the first quarter.
And you mentioned the touch there by Pickering. He has such great hands.
Plug into low sale prices.
It's not something you usually teach as a coach. Well, he can get away with it because he just has such terrific hands. You also mentioned earlier a little bit about the Falcons, how they're the same size, and you know they get a lot of different people in the scoring column. They're so similar in a lot of different ways.
Maloney hit from there earlier, but not this time. And your first quarter clock is under a minute. Here's Will from. We'll normally see him shoot. And a foul on David Ross. Look at the Rogersville season so far. They won the Republic Tournament to start their season. Wins against Ava, Houston, West Plains. Losses only to Hillcrest and St. Louis Hazelwood Central. Now a steal for Ben Garwitz. Rogersville was the #2 seed and Glendale #1. Here's Will hitting about the line.
Well, we saw Will earlier go out on the perimeter, hit a jump shot, just missed his most recent perimeter jump shot. That time they throw it to him on the block. Makes a nice move. You see reverse pivots back inside, goes up with the right hand, keeps it.
To let you know about it, that's what we'll do.
For the foul, and Will get to shoot the bonus shot.
Barry, Pete Sampras, and Amazing Birds. Then on Conan, Charles Grodin, SNL's on a Guest Iron, the best of 98 tonight. And tomorrow, spend New Year's Eve with Jay live.
The government says
20 seconds left first quarter.
See Rogersville spread it out a little bit now, trying to work the clock down for the last shot. Maybe try to get something off the dribble.
There's your clock. Barton will try the three. Webster with a follow. Webster again. And it was not going to happen for Rogersville. A dreadful quarter for the Wildcats as the Glendale Falcons lead it 15-3 after one.
If you've had an
and Eagle Vision.
From the streamers to the noisemakers to Auld Lang Syne, champagne has been part of the New Year's tradition for centuries now, but word is coming through the grapevine that champagne may be a scarce commodity for the year 2000. KY3's Laurie Patton tells us what we can do to make sure the year 2000 doesn't start off with sour grapes.
Sparkling, it's festive. You get the pretty little glasses to toast out of, and the cork pops. I mean, it's just the whole thing about that bottle of wine suggests celebration. Here we go.
But Jason Youngie says before you pull out the party hats in the year 2000, you may want to check your cellar to make sure there's enough of the bubbly to go around.
This New Year's Eve is kind of like a prelude to the year 2000, and the 2000 is going to be the big party. Everybody's going to want their special friends and everything around. So they're going to look for the better champagne.
T-shirts, you're talking TJ sale.
Talking T-shirts, talking TJ sales, talking TJ sales.
Here's a sample of what Glendale did to Rogersville in the first quarter with the flip up by Will and the foul. It was all Glendale in the first quarter, 15-3.
You really have to feel that Rogersville has to get something working on the defensive end to maybe try to create some offense for him.
Will caught for that travel step again.
Almost a case of wine.
And this bottle of security will only cost you a cool $1,000, but it won't all fit in the pretty little glass. Laurie Patton, KY3 News.
Jason says the average consumer who spends less than $20 a bottle for sparkling wine won't really be hurt. But when
Barton down for Webster.
Just fine.
That's
We'll
right.
all survive. The Bears light up the frigid north with a blizzard of trays. Net up next with that report.
And championship night in Springfield produces some real thrillers. Stay tuned.
If you're anticipating the biggest event of the year, make the drive to your local.
6 to match Blake Will. He's got a year left. He's a junior. Hits the second one.
See Tinsley into the game now, backing things out for the Falcons. He's one of the juniors that gets some playing time for him.
Thompson. Now with 6 on the night. Matt Tinsley, 24 for the Falcons. Into the game. Pickering to Tinsley. Back to Pickering. And he fills it up.
And that's just good basketball right there. Both players unselfish, giving it up to one another.
Brock Barton cut off at the baseline. Luttrell will try the 23-footer and got it.
Stocks of interest.
First good open look that we've seen from him today, and he buries it from deep. Again, he's another Rogersville player that can hit it from that range.
Miss for Garwitz. Webster with the Rogersville rebound. They played the third place games earlier this evening in each division. Inside for the Wildcats. The shot won't go. That's Gavin Fletchall on the floor now. Did I see that right? A 3 no good for Pickering. Put back up by Will. Third try, and it's Austin Thompson. Timeout Rogersville. Glendale dominating 21-7, 5:51 to go first half.
I'm a thriller.
Well, you know.
Those thrilling days were long gone.
Oh,
sweet.
come on.
We did have some great basketball tonight. Unfortunately, our Bears highlights are 22,000 miles up there somewhere lost, but that's all right. Get a win anyway. Good evening, everyone. An extremely big night of basketball heralding a New Year's explosion of hoops. Now, the Southwest Missouri State Bears were up in Waterloo, Iowa, and that's where the highlight stayed tonight. Anyway, the Bears big winners over the University of Northern Iowa, 81-66. The Bears went into this game 22nd in the nation on the Sagarin rankings and now have a mark of 9-2. Danny Moore, his usual big night, 27 points, and Kevin Alt hit a blizzard of trays. Kevin, when he gets on a tear, he can start bombing away, and he did so, 5 of them tonight, and the Bears are big winners. This is 2-0 in Missouri Valley Conference play now for Southwest Missouri State. Both those victories coming on the road, a game we televised versus Southern Illinois back earlier this month, and now tonight over Northern Iowa, 81-66. Now, next up for the Bears will be Saturday afternoon at the Kiel Center in St. Louis. It's a non-conference game. The Bears take on Charlie Spoonhour and the St. Louis Billikens. Won't that be fun? 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon. You'll see the game right here on KY3. Bears winners over Northern Iowa. And we will check on the remaining college scores coming up shortly. Here in town, championship night at a pair of the holiday tournaments. This is the blue and gold competition over at the Hammond Student Center. Glendale against Rogersville. And that's Wes Pickering back to Austin Thompson, who scores right there for the Glendale Falcons. Now back comes Rogersville. That's Chris Maloney scoring from the corner, but the night is to belong to Glendale. David Ross with the steal. Watch this to Austin Thompson, and he'll drive and score, and Glendale routs Rogersville. Now over at Parkview High School, the KTXR Lady Classic featured a pair of area teams. That is Republic in the white uniforms and Nixa, conference rival. Callie Newton scoring there for Republic. This is Terry Ann Wolford, who was the tournament's most valuable player, scoring for Nixa. Now back comes Republic, but the night is to belong to Nixa in a thriller and on the high school scoreboard. Here's what happened. Blue and gold competition. The champions are Glendale and Bolivar for 1998. Glendale 73, Rogersville 42. That's the blue championship game. Gold championship game goes to the Liberators, 47-43 over the Nixa Eagles. A couple of dandy championship matches at the Hammond Student Center. In the consolation action, Willard defeated Lebanon 79-71, and Greenwood, the host school, a 66-50 winner over Republic. In the William Jewell tournament, how about the Kickapoo Chiefs, huh? They get the win, beating Lee's Summit North 69-60. Kickapoo wins the William Jewell tournament. In the Reed Spring tournament, Fordland 59, Blue Eye 46. The state champion Fordland Eagles have a nice basketball team, and Reed Spring a 20-point winner over Forsyth. KTXR Lady Classic, the championship goes to the Nixa Lady Eagles. They knocked off Republic 71-70 in overtime. And Kickapoo for third place, defeating Glendale 49-44. In the pink and white tournament, this is the semifinal matchups. Marshfield beats Rogersville by 10. West Plains nudges Parkview 44-41. That's the championship matchup, Marshfield and West Plains, tomorrow evening at 6:30. Elsewhere, Willard beat Greenwood, Aurora over Crane, Skyline beat Mount Vernon, Ozark a 62-30 winner over Hillcrest. Now here in town at the Weiser Gym on the Drury College campus, the Drury Panthers taking on Truman State, the very good Truman State basketball team, ranked number 1 in the South Central District. But the night belongs to Drury. You'll see Logan Bond scoring here. This is
for the foul, but it may be more attributed to David Ross throwing it in there to him.
This is Will earlier. Barton brings it up floor. Glendale coach Mike Keltner loves this tournament. There's a foul on Pickering. His dad was a coach in it. He told us through the course of the tournament this week that from about the time he was 3 or 5 years old or somewhere in there, he was showing up at McDonald Arena for the 9:30 game and leaving after the 9:30 p.m. game, staying about 14 hours watching a whole day of blue and gold basketball. In the first round, the Falcons beat Mansfield 68-30 at McDonald, and Mike coached his 400th game as the Falcons leader.
You know, not only does he love the fact of, you know, the pageantry of it, but he loves the camaraderie he has with, you know, the other coaches here. This is a time of year where you get to meet with all the other coaches. Just about everybody in the area is here.
Big block for Webster on the shot of Tinsley. And Underwood converts it.
And that's what we were talking about, maybe getting something out of their defense. That time they get an easy, fast break. Underwood knocks it down off the glass.
4 in a row for Rogersville, 23-13. Falcons by 10. 3:19 to play in the half. And somebody had a leg out there. Mr. Bill Keeter reporting the foul. This is his 4th blue and gold tournament championship game. He's the head official tonight. That foul on Webster, his 2nd. And a 3 for Thompson.
Well, we've seen everything else from Thompson from about 10 feet and on in, taking it to the glass. There he shows us his range, knocking down the 3 ball.
Out of bounds to Rogersville. 2 years ago, Darren, we talked about this one. Bolivar beat Glendale 59-41 in the gold championship. And since Glendale's only in the blue and gold every other year, they've had a couple of years to think about that.
I remember that as being the second game that David Ross played on the varsity that year. That other point guard for Glendale, B.J. Ross, tore his ACL in an early round game against Pleasant Hope, and David Ross just in his second game trying to run the point for Glendale.
Good job to get it into Webster, and a Glendale foul. And that's on Ross, his second personal.
You kind of had the feeling at the beginning of the game that maybe Rogersville forgot a little bit about their big man inside, didn't really try to go to him too much. You see him here, go to him, get some results, and also earlier in the fact when they threw it to him when he kicked it back out for the 3 to Luttrell and working a little inside out. You have to keep attacking the basket. You have to keep throwing it into the post and using them.
Gavin Fletchall on the floor for Rogersville now. He's a sophomore 6-footer. Where's number 50? And a 3 for Tinsley. Matt Tinsley comes off the bench, and he has had tournament games of 9, 9, and 7 points. Very valuable tool for the Falcons.
If you get a closer look at Matt Tinsley sometime, you maybe will be reminded of Jimmy from Hoosiers. He's kind of got that, you know, sweaty hair look, that perfect form on his shot. Doesn't make a mistake, real quiet type of person. Just reminds me of Jimmy.
Gets the job done off the bench, doesn't he?
Sure does.
Underwood ducks under and it's followed up by Webster. There's your first half time. And the fake for Garwitz. He'll go to the free throw line. And Mr. Dana Elwell makes this foul call. This is Dana's first blue and gold championship.
See Webster there, looks like he gets the block clean, and they are going to give the foul to Barton that time as he came in and reached in on Garwitz. If Barton didn't commit the foul, it looked like Webster's block was pretty clean.
Jeremy Luttrell back in after the first free throw. And he gets the second one. Dana Elwell in the championship round tonight as an official, and he replacing our good friend Randy Crocker, who has been a staple as a blue and gold championship game official. And Randy is in the stands, actually up in the handicap seating section tonight, because Randy was in a serious car accident in November, and he has a broken bone in his neck, and he's wearing the halo. And the good news is that he's expected to recover, and our best goes out to Randy Crocker.
Sure wish him well.
Barton good on the first.
Barton that time going to the basket. We see
there's Randy.
So Barton going to the basket that time. He has 3 points, but they're all from the free throw line. Still hasn't been able to knock one down from the field.
Yeah, they've held Barton at bay through the whole first half. 1:07 and counting, 31-17. Glendale got off to an 8-0 start, led 15-3 after a quarter. Rogersville's only points in the first quarter, a 3-point goal by Chris Maloney. Pickering gets it in.
They kind of just lulled you to sleep that time, didn't they? Spread the floor a little bit, passed it around, then worked it inside.
Air ball. And the Falcons will run the floor too. Count it for Pickering.
Well, I talked about his hands earlier, and he has great hands. You know, he's a really good baseball player, plays shortstop for Coach Stratton on the Glendale baseball team. But as you see there, he has great body control also. Going to the glass, glides, goes to the side of Webster, avoids any contact that would put him in a charge situation and makes Webster fouling.
That's the third foul on Webster. He's still in. And 11 points now for Pickering. Blake Will comes in. And with 33 seconds left in the half, Glendale's lead is 19.
And we're seeing a little zone here from Glendale for the first time that we've seen in the tournament.
Maloney misses the three, and Glendale's ball with 15 left. And now here comes Philip Metz to the table, and Rod Gorman will get Webster out of there. Lest he believe Glendale will take it to him in the last seconds and get his fourth foul.
Yeah, wanted to keep him in on the offensive end, but now they're going to be on the defensive end. And I'm not sure if Coach Gorman really wanted that shot that quickly. They had an open look, but he may have wanted to try to work it down for one that time.
Brooks Tipton back in at a guard, guarding ball here against West Pickering. Garwitz gets the basket ahead of the buzzer. And Glendale dominates in the first half of the Blue Division Championship, leading Rogersville 38-17. Don West along with Darren Cates. We're at halftime in the Blue Division Championship at Hammond Student Center. Glendale leading Rogersville 38-17. And Glendale really got the job done, Darren, from all angles.
Yeah, they sure did. And I think, more specifically, they got it done on the defensive end, which really created a lot of their offense. That's something that throughout the tournament, they've been smothering teams on the defensive end, helps them to get easy looks and easy transition baskets.
Rogersville had 5 points from Sam Webster. Chris Maloney and Jeremy Luttrell had a 3-point basket apiece. Brock Barton with only 3 free throws. And Clint Underwood with 4 points for the Wildcats. Glendale 11 each from Austin Thompson and West Pickering. Blake Will had 7, Ben Garwitz 4, David Ross 2, and Matt Tinsley had 3. And on plays like this, the Falcons have a big first half lead in the blue and gold championship round. We are at the half. We'll have second half action at Hammond Student Center when we come back right after this.
I have 2 boys, Nico and Rocco. They keep me really busy. They keep me active.
Lisa and Jeff are protected by the American Family Life Insurance Company.
I wouldn't ever be without life insurance, especially after my accident. Our agent genuinely understands our needs. I feel secure having American Family Life Insurance because my family means so much to me.
All your protection under one roof.
American Family Insurance.
I'm Danny Marr. If I can give you a better value for your insurance dollar and save you some money, you'd be interested now, wouldn't you?
Welcome to the Athlete's Club. Dude, those clothes are totally happening. But those shoes.
Definitely time for a new ride.
Totally true. Cool.
I need running shoes.
Fairly high mileage.
Training for the marathon. Perfect.
Help! Let's see who's got the biggest feet. I do. Can I get red shoes? Sure. I think we have exactly what you need.
Nobody knows fashion, fit, style, performance like the athlete's foot.
About ready for second half action in the Blue Division title game. Glendale 38, Rogersville 17. With a half of basketball to go. Rogersville, Darren, has got to get Brock Barton involved heavily.
Yeah, he still only has 3 points for the game and no field goals from the game. All his points have come from the free throw line. He hasn't got any anything off the dribble to go for him. Hasn't got any of his three-point shots to go down for him. Really just hasn't had many good looks.
This is the 8th time Rogersville has been in the Blue and Gold Championship. We told you about their titles in 81, 82, and 95. They've been second place 4 times, 1958, 74, 79, and 83. And Glendale, the 11th time they've been in the championship with 6 titles, 3 under Jack Roberts and 3 under Mike Keltner. And also 4 second places, 2 under Coach Jack and 2 for Mike. Keltner in 84 and 96, and Jack Roberts in 65 and 66. And that run for Jack Roberts in the mid-60s, appearing in the Blue and Gold Championship 5 consecutive years, 64 through 68, is an all-time record for most consecutive championship game appearances. 4 schools, Buffalo, Branson, Buffalo again, and Parkview, were in the championship 4 consecutive years, but Glendale the only team to appear in 5 straight. Third quarter, and here's Darren Cates.
Well, to start the third quarter will be Rogersville with the basketball. They're facing a 21-point deficit.
No, 10. You're holding. Come on, you're holding.
David Ross now is going to get caught down low with a foul on Sam Webster, looks like. He got caught on a switch and tried to wrestle with the big man down there.
And the team with the most blue and gold titles in the history of the tournament is Central with 9, but the Bulldogs have not won a tournament since 1983. They were in this year and lost in the second round to Republic.
Webster takes a shot from the baseline, no good. Garwitz with the rebound. Falcons will go the other way.
And to qualify that, that does go back to the senior high days when Central was the only public high school in Springfield until the mid-50s when Parkview was born.
Say, Don, you've got some memory.
I don't go back quite that far. But.
Underwood now will knock one in from 17. He has 6. 38-19. Glendale with the big advantage. Ross now will survey the defense. Now Garwitz over behind the three-point line, gives it off to Pickering, and he'll knock it down. He has 13. He's the leading scorer in the game.
Of course, Glendale will take the trade a basket for a basket the whole rest of the game. Rogersville has got to come up with a way to cut into the lead.
There again, we see Underwood with the dribble penetration, but this time his pass goes out of bounds, and it'll be Glendale basketball. And it seems like, Don, that's been one of the few things that Rogersville has been able to get going, is a little bit of dribble penetration.
They have. They've had a little success in that regard, but Glendale continues to have a big edge.
Say when you're down 21, though, it's not enough success, right?
That's right.
Will now from 17 off the front iron. Again, the good hands by Pickering, keeping it alive. And right back to the offense, passing and cutting. Thompson for 3-0, and Pickering with another rebound. Deja vu all over again. And back to the same offense. This time Pickering can't run it down, but it's going to go off a Rogersville player, and it'll stay Glendale basketball.
Number 10,
Tipton now will check into the game for Rogersville as Luttrell sits down. Nice pass that time from Garwitz inside to Will. And now Will has 9.
He's had a big tournament, double figures in all 3 games. 21-point output against Ozark in the second round.
Again, Underwood on the drive. This time has it taken away by Thompson. 3 for Tinsley. No. Rebound comes down to Webster. Now we'll see the Wildcats try to get something going in transition. That's Barton with the basketball. Up and under with the left hand and gets it in for his first field goal of the game. He now has 5.
That's a heck of a way to get it, too. He's used to shooting those 15-footers and further back.
Hasn't been easy for him today. Nice pass from Will inside to Thompson. He's going to be fouled there by Barton. And that'll be Barton's 3rd.
Number 22, Brock Barton with a foul. It's his 3rd. Team foul number 1 on the Wildcats.
Barton's 3rd foul as he hit Thompson, and Austin makes the 1st. Told you about Rogersville's 2nd-round win against West Plains. That was an overtime game. There have been 3 overtime games in the tournament this year. And that one in the 2nd round was one of back-to-back overtime games. The 2nd of 2. Lebanon and Buffalo in overtime on Monday. In the game before West Plains and Rogersville.
Another steal by the Falcons. That's Pickering on the left wing. He's going to dish it off to Thompson for the easy lay-in. So now Thompson regains scoring honors. He has 15 in the game.
It has just been so easy for the Falcons. It just looks so easy. Maybe it's not.
But they're so strong and so quick on the defensive end. They just make so many easy baskets for themselves on the offensive end. Now inside to Webster. He kicks it out to Luttrell. Barton on the drive, gets his leaner to fall. So he's woken up a little bit here in the 2nd half. He has 7. 46-23 is our score. Falcons have doubled up Rogersville. Thompson will feed it inside to Will. He'll go with the spin, can't get it to fall. And Maloney comes down with the rebound for Rogersville. Luttrell on the drive. He's going to be fouled by Garwitz. And they're going to give him 2 shots as Dana Elwell comes out, makes the call.
Garwitz gets some hand. We've talked about this. Well, now we're going to get timeout, and we'll see if it's a 20. It is a 20-second timeout for Rogersville. We've talked about this on the radio through the week, Darren, about this Glendale team and just how good they are. Wouldn't you love to add, say, a Scott Brakebill to a team like Glendale is right now and just see how good they could be? Because that'd give them the big man with speed who can also shoot out on the floor.
I say not that they're that small as it is,
oh,
but
yeah.
On the 4A level, you are going to run into a big center somewhere along the way.
Yep.
And they play right now with Blake Will most of the time 6'6", but he likes to go out on the floor a lot more. But yeah, it would be interesting to add that big center. They do have a 6'10" junior, a German, Andreas Mueller, on the bench, but
we'll probably see him.
Would be interesting to know his thoughts on this blue and gold tournament. As Luttrell knocks the first one down, but this is a good basketball team. And it's going to be hard to say where they fall in the history of Glendale basketball teams. But it is definitely going to be one of the most enjoyable teams to watch. We're sitting here in a game that's not necessarily that close, but it's still a great game to watch just because you're going to see athletic plays and good passing all the time from the Falcons.
The Glendale teams that Tyler Ruhlman was a part of were the same. Just fun to watch no matter what.
And now Blake will work inside and draw a foul. And Anthony Tyndall will count the basket.
This is a Tyler Ruhlman-like move here for Blake Will. Of course, he ended up at Harvard and probably a brain surgeon by now, for all I know. Had one of the highest GPAs ever to go through Glendale.
Nice tip out that time on the miss by Pickering. That's something you'll see Glendale do a lot of on missed free throws. Tip the ball back out to the trail man. Pays off there.
We'll find that out. We'll find out what Tyler Ruhlman's up to now.
He is in San Francisco. I do know that. He was working for Oracle. I'm not sure exactly. Now I know he changed jobs, and he spent 3 years overseas and was the MVP of his league 3 straight years. Now Metz checks into the game for Rogersville. He'll give the ball off to Luttrell, or excuse me, Maloney, who goes to the rack and will be fouled by Blake Will.
I was hoping I'd get a look at this. Will didn't get there. At first, looking at it from the complete opposite angle where we're sitting, that looked like a charge, but right there it showed that Will didn't get there.
Well, something that Will does that makes it tough to tell a lot of times is that he sells it real well. Gives the little grunt, hits the floor hard, but a good call that time. Didn't give him that one.
Here comes the big guy, Andreas Mueller, in place of Blake Will, a German exchange student. Right there, 54 in the low lane spot.
6'10", a tall drink of water. Maloney gets the second one to fall. He has 4 in the game. 48-26 our score. Pass inside from Thompson to Pickering, and again more of the beautiful passing from the Glendale attack. Pickering now matches Thompson with game honors with 15. Could add to it here. Goes up with the left hand, lays it in softly.
Timeout Rogersville, and why not?
Yeah, Coach Gorman not real happy with how things are going. Looks like they're going to get a 20-second timeout. And we'll be back with more basketball. Well, looks like we're going to keep it here now. Just a 20.
52-26 with 2 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the third quarter at Hammond Student Center. Later on this evening, it'll be the Gold Division Championship between the Nixa Eagles and the Bolivar Liberators. Nixa, the #1 seed in the gold, and Bolivar #2. So this year, both brackets came down to 1 versus 2, although it was an interesting way they got there. There were several upsets. Greenwood made it to the Final Four in their division. They won the third place game in the gold over Republic 66-55 earlier. Jacob Thomas had 26 points and hit 6 threes for the Blue Jays. Greenwood was the 6th seed. And in Blue Division third place play, it was Willard 79, Lebanon 71.
Say in the Blue Division, all the seeds held true to form 1 through 4, and even ended up in the third place game with the 3rd seed winning the third place game.
And this game is on its way to making the top 4 hold true to form.
Maloney will go to the drive again. This time runs into Mueller. Tinsley now will pull up from 10 off the glass and good. And he has 5. Shows us his good form. Again, it's 59-26, and this is against a pretty good basketball team.
Oh, Barton just can't buy it.
Maloney's there for the foul, though. And you're right, you know, Barton just can't get anything to fall for him. Things that were falling earlier aren't now. Now we're going to get a blocking call. And Andreas Mueller makes his presence felt with his first foul.
Ross back in for Pickering now at the guard. Lebanon Yellow Jackets, as we said, 4th place in the blue. They added another top 4 finish to their list this year. They're the all-time champions in the tournament of top 4s with their 23rd this year.
Maloney again from 3, no good. Garwitz keeps it alive, and it's going to be Glendale basketball.
And Rogersville, Darren, overtook a record this year that Buffalo has held since going back into the late 40s when the blue and gold was very young. Rogersville won its 75th all-time blue and gold game this year, and last night's semifinal win gave them 76, and they passed Buffalo, with whom they were tied coming into the tournament this year.
And now the big German gets the left-hander up and in.
Rogersville 76, his first all-time now. Buffalo, of course, won all its titles in the 60s and before. Their last championship was in 1963, but they won 6 titles in the first 20 years.
You know, we may change your name to Blue and Gold Guru after this.
I just eat the stuff up. I love it. I love this tournament.
Well, it's a great tournament. It's a great time of year to have it. And lots of good basketball. Nice backdoor cut there. Very Princeton-like that time for the Falcons. And Thompson lays it in softly. That'll end the third quarter with our score 58-28, Glendale in the lead. We'll be back with more basketball right after this.
Is a medical condition keeping you or someone you love down?
Then visit the friendly people at Ozarks Medical Supply. You'll find a selection of scooters and lift chairs to help you get up and around.
Scooters have long-lasting batteries to climb the mountain of getting out and are built with quality components.
Lift chairs add convenience when it's hard to get up and are comfortable enough for hours of use.
They make great gift items for those who have a hard time getting around.
Ozarks Medical Supply, the Ozarks' most complete and affordable medical supply store. Just west of the Plaza Towers on Sunshine.
Till now, there have been very few solutions to the age-old problem of loading items in and out of your pickup truck. Now, you can turn your pickup into the ultimate loader with the all-new Gator Ramp. It easily mounts to the inside panel of your pickup truck tailgate. All you need is a drill and a screwdriver. In less than half an hour, you'll be using your new Gator Ramp.
Increase the usefulness of your pickup truck. Call Loading Solutions at 581-9669 for your new Gator Ramp.
Fourth quarter set to go. Glendale leading 58-28, and we will start the fourth quarter with the new rule in high school basketball this year, a running clock with a 30-point or larger margin in the fourth quarter. Only thing to stop it will be timeouts called by the coaches, or an injury, if you will. And the Falcons on their way to their 7th blue and gold title. Andreas Mueller gets the hoop for the Falcons.
You know, when talking with Coach Keltner, you know, he feels like Andreas just gets better every day, and hopefully by the end of the season will be able to add even more minutes than what he's adding now to this Glendale team.
Chris Maloney with the hoop. And the other way, count it for Blake Will.
And see, you just can't rest. You know, Rogersville there gets a nice basket. Rest for a second. Glendale quickly beats them down the floor.
Timeout Rogersville, 7:21 to go in the game. That's the 5th foul, so this will take a second to sort out. Rogersville wants timeout anyway, and we will take a break. 62-31, Glendale on top in the Blue Division Championship.
This is William, and I'm John Arnold. We're the experts here at Springfield Stamp and Engraving. We have over 35 years of experience in Springfield making rubber stamps, name tags, plaques, and custom engraved signs. In fact, Springfield Stamp and Engraving was named Middleweight Dealer of the Year by Marketing Industry Magazine for our sales and service. We promise you fast, friendly service at our convenient location at 1416 South Glenstone, next to the Glen Isle Shopping Center. And you might even get a friendly lick from William. For more information, see our ad under rubber stamps or signs in Swabbits, your Southwestern Bell Yellow Pages.
There's another blue and gold fact for you. The coach with the best winning percentage in the blue and gold all time is the legendary John Earl Chase of Branson with an .875 winning percentage.
And that was not him in the picture, of course.
If Mike Keltner wins this game, and he's going to, he will tie that winning percentage of .875 with a record of 28-4. Slightly different numbers than the coach of Branson in the 50s, but he will tie John Earl Chase with an .875 all-time blue and gold winning percentage.
And we talked a little bit about that last time out. I think Coach Gorman, you know, is still coaching, and he didn't want the clock to keep running during that free throw. He wanted to, you know, give his team the best chance they can to cut into this lead. And that's something you're going to see from both these coaches. Even though it's a wide margin, they're still going to keep coaching until the final buzzer. That's a mark of a pretty good coach.
Shot no good for Luttrell. And Glendale down floor. And with that new rule, you'll see that happen quite a bit. Timeouts called during those situations. Andrew Birch in the game for Rogersville, 12. And up front to Brock Barton. Because lining up and shooting 2 free throws can take 45 seconds or a minute off the clock. Big block for Mueller. Will lost it out of bounds.
That is something that Andreas can do. And when you're 6'10", it makes it a little easier. You see here, gets set up. Nice touch that time. Kept a little distance to keep the body away.
Nathan Forbes replaces Austin Thompson, and I think what you're seeing is Mike Keltner take his starters out one at a time.
And he wanted to let them play a little bit here on the Hammond Center. They still have a tournament to play on this floor in January in the Tournament of Champions.
Barton got it.
Boy, nice move that time by the junior. Showed real good body control, and he, one of those players that can go to the basket on the dribble, use his dribble very well, or knock it down from the outside. That time he did a nice job changing it from his right hand to his left. Got it up off the glass.
And Barton missed the free throw. And on the other end, Mr. Will up to 15. Luttrell had a man in his face, and he hits the shot.
You know, Don, this is a Rogersville team that is going to compete for the COC championship too. This is a team that will go against Nixon and Bolivar and compete with them very well and have a chance to win the COC title this year.
Absolutely. Mueller missed, and the clock stops now with a 29-point margin.
Number 52, Philip Metz.
And this will be interesting. If Mueller makes a free throw here, the clock will just start running out of the blue, because that margin will be back. 2 shots for Andreas, and he hits the first. And let's see how long it takes Harry Taylor to get it running.
I think they may wait until the next start of play.
Okay.
But this isn't, if you're not familiar with it, you're a new scorer or anything, this would be definitely a question.
It's no good. I have to check on that. You got to like that rule, though.
It makes the game better for both teams involved. I don't even think it would be bad to expand it to any time in the second half, not just the fourth quarter.
Mueller now with 7 points. Big fourth quarter for the big 6'10" German. Luttrell for 3, and it goes behind the backboard.
Well, let's put this in perspective. He didn't play much in the first half. Playing a little bit here in the second half. And this is a kid that scored 7 points in a championship game. He's 6'10", and really he's not quite good enough offensively to get minutes in the first half of a game. This is how good offensively the Falcons are.
Yep. Mueller sits down now, and Ryan Bates is in, number 50, along with Matt Shepard, who wears 0. Chad Hammonds is in for Glendale, number 4, a 5'10" junior. All 3 of the new guys into the lineup are juniors for the Falcons.
Also see Joey Ashcroft in the game now. And you may see his uncle tomorrow in Kansas City announce he's running for president in the year 2000, just to throw a little politics your way. His uncle, of course, being Senator John Ashcroft.
Isn't that going to happen next week?
I'd heard on the radio that they're maybe expecting that to happen in Kansas City, maybe even tomorrow.
Okay, that'd be a change then if he does. Was going to wait till next week and announce it at the Henderson unit of the Boys and Girls Club here in Springfield, place where he grew up.
Well, that was a Kansas City station. Maybe they were just wishful thinking.
Yeah. Timeout now is called with 3 minutes left. It's 67-35. Glendale on its way to its 7th blue and gold title all time. We'll be back right after this.
How do I look? An earth tone might better suit your complexion. This season, the game of football will be bigger than ever.
All right, men, you ready to go out there and kill?
But because of Mitsubishi's new high-definition television,
I don't know, Coach. My nose looks shiny.
some players are a bit self-conscious.
Makeup!
Introducing the Mitsubishi Digital Big Screen from Colony Home Entertainment, where you pay absolutely nothing until January 2000.
I like the eyeshadow you wore last week against Detroit.
At Colony Home Entertainment in the Galleria.
3 minutes left in the game, and Chad Hammonds will be at the free throw line for the Glendale Falcons. You see him over on the bench, Darren, really kind of business-like right now.
Number 30, Casey, ball game for the Falcons.
Kind of approach every game the same way, try to take it like no game's really bigger than the other.
New face on the bench with Mike Keltner. Marty Marsh has been around for several years with Glendale now.
That's Jason Holmes, who's originally from Newcastle, Indiana, played high school basketball for Sam Alford, assistant coach for the Bears. If you've ever seen Jason play, he plays a lot like Steve did. In fact, I think he's the all-time leading scorer at SIU Edwardsville. It's where he played his basketball, Division II school there.
Ryan Bates gets the foul. And we're still playing with a running clock with 68-35 our score. Glendale up by a 33-point count. And Jeremy Luttrell shooting 2. Glendale's last blue and gold championship was 4 years ago. They will add the 1998 title to their trophy case. They're ahead on the fast break, and Bates gets the layup. Barton all the way. Oh, wow. What are you giving me?
Don't try that in a horse game. That finally gets him in double figures.
Out front to Matt Shepard, and here is Hammonds with a 3.
Hammonds hits the 3.
I'll say it doesn't get any better for an opponent when Falcons really go to their bench either.
Fouls on Shepard for the Falcons. Mike Keltner will get his 28th blue and gold win, as we told you. As far as total wins for coaches, that's in the top 10 in that department. Russ Kaminsky, the legendary Joplin coach, is the all-time blue and gold coach in terms of wins with 59. Gary McDaniel, who has spent a long time at Rogersville, 51. Bob Brown, 38. Jim Ball, 37. Both city coaches at Parkview and Central, respectively. Underwood gets the shot. George Wilson and Jackie Payne now are tied for 5th with 28. Jackie got 2 wins in the tournament this year. Out of bounds to Rogersville. And Mike Keltner is right there after that group with what will be his 28th win. So actually he'll be tied with George Wilson and Jackie Payne in tournament wins. We're down to 13 seconds and counting. Luttrell with a miss. Metz puts it in, and he gets his name in the scorebook in the blue and gold championship. But Glendale wins it 73-42. The Blue Division champions for 1998 are the Glendale Falcons. Here momentarily we'll have the trophy presentation, and again just a little later on we'll have the Gold Division Championship between Nixa and Bolivar. The cheerleaders are out with the trophies. Mike Keltner wins his 4th blue and gold title. Only 4 other coaches have won 4 or more blue and gold tournament crowns. And again, those familiar names from the other list: Russ Kaminsky, Jim Ball with 8 and 7. Roy Green has won 5, and of course is still at Kickapoo, but the Chiefs not in the tournament this year. And Bob Brown with 4 blue and golds at Parkview in the mid-60s and early 70s. Mike Keltner wins his 4th tonight.
And you know, for Rogersville, this is a young team, and they've got to be pleased with getting here to the 2nd place game, or the 1st place game, finishing 2nd in the blue and gold, and only start 1 senior. A young team that's going to get better as the year goes along.
Rogersville has presented the second place trophy. Lived up to their number 2 seed. Glendale dominating the whole blue division with a 31-point championship game victory, 73-42.